Hi, this is the Addressing Maladaptive Behaviors PD video. My name is Sarah Martin. I am the Student Support Services teacher on special assignment in Palm Springs Unified School District. The big idea for today's video is that many behavior challenges are skill gaps, not willful defiance. When teachers explicitly teach self-regulation and executive functioning, behavior improves and learning increases. When a student escalates, the thinking brain, which is our prefrontal cortex, goes offline. The survival brain takes over, and that is the typical fight, flight, or freeze response we've heard so much about. Logic, consequences, and lectures do not work when a student is in an escalated state. I'm going to do a quick review of the escalation cycle, which looks like this. When students are escalating, we want to try to employ de-escalation strategies. Those include remain calm, keep your cool, show your student how to stay calm and composed. This can help soothe tense situations. Change the setting. If you can, move people away from the area. This might mean those involved in the conflict or bystanders. Respect personal space. Keep a safe distance and make sure not to make any physical contact with the student unless absolutely necessary. Listen. Pay full attention to what your student is saying. Show that you are listening by nodding, asking questions, and not interrupting or changing the topic. Empathize. Display genuine care and readiness to understand their feelings without passing judgment. Remember that during a crisis, you are an emotional lifeguard. Our focus is on helping the student regulate over teaching a lesson or maintaining our position of authority. Here is another visual of what an escalation cycle might look like. The student is at baseline here and then experiences a trigger. They build until they reach a peak and then they have a descent. And once they get back up to baseline is the time for us to talk and help them understand their actions and the impact they had. If we try to talk to a student too soon before they reach baseline, we may trigger another escalation. So be mindful of when you're speaking to your students. There are 3 non-negotiables during severe behavior. First is safety. Safety for students, peers, and staff. Next is regulation. Help the nervous system settle. That is the first priority. And finally, connection. Preserve dignity of the student and relationships. Next, let's talk about some regulation strategies you can try. First, we'll talk about student regulation. Student regulation directly affects learning, behavior, and relationships in the classroom. Regulation is the foundation for learning, reduces challenging behavior, builds long-term life skills, and improves classroom climate. And regulation can be taught. Students often struggle with regulation because they have developing brains, they have experienced trauma or chronic stress, they have sensory needs, executive functioning delays, or there has been a lack of explicit instruction. Self-regulation is the ability to manage emotions, control impulses, stay engaged, recover from frustration, and return to calm after stress. So how do we teach self-regulation? We have to do this explicitly, not just in a crisis. Teach while students are calm, what emotions feel like in the body, how to notice escalation, and tools to help them reset. Some examples of tools include feelings charts, body signals, lessons, and calm down modeling. Co-regulation is also an option where you help the student regulate. Students borrow your calm before building their own. You can use things like phrases like, "I'm here, let's breathe together." "Your body looks overwhelmed, let's slow it down together." Or, "You're safe, we can fix this." Some regulation tools that are not rewards include movement breaks, breathing, sensory tools, calming corners, and visual cues. And also, I want to talk about normalizing resetting. It is a skill, and a lot of our scholars need support with it. We want to teach our students that resetting is a skill. Everyone needs a reset at times, and you're not in trouble. Your body just needs a little help. Next, I'm going to talk about teacher regulation because it's very important that we as educators stay regulated. It's important because students borrow our nervous systems before they can regulate their own. Co-regulation is external support. Our tone, body language, and pacing matter here. Self-regulation is internal control. And self-regulation is often inaccessible for dysregulated students. Many students can't self-regulate without co-regulation taking place. Again, especially students who have experienced trauma, have ADHD, or who have autism. Remember that adult energy amplifies or stabilizes a situation. A simple brain-based explanation is that dysregulated students mirror adult affect. Adult calm does not mean permissive. And when we are calm and clear, that lets our students know that they are safe. Some common triggers for teachers include repeated non-compliance from students, public defiance, loud noises or chaos, feeling disrespected, or being observed. Often, adults have a stress response of fight, which could look like snapping or engaging in power struggles, flight, where they ignore behavior or avoid, freeze, where they shut down or become over-controlling at times, or fawn, where we become over-accommodating and inconsistent. Some micro-regulation strategies you can try are body-based, voice and language regulation, and cognitive micro-shifts. Body-based is great because it's invisible to students, and you can do it during instruction. You simply exhale longer than you inhale. So inhale for a count of 4, and exhale for a count of 6. You can also try box breathing. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that you can use as a resource. Also, ground your feet into the floor before responding. Lower your shoulders and unclench your jaw intentionally. Slow down your movements intentionally as well. Voice and language regulation includes dropping the volume instead of raising it. Slow your cadence and use fewer words, and use neutral phrasing such as "I'll wait," "We'll handle this calmly," and "I see you, we're okay." Remember, the elements of personal communication are very important. So when you are communicating, be mindful of your body language, your voice and tone, and the words that you're using, or verbal communication. Cognitive micro-shifts are where we change the way we think about behavior that's happening in our classroom. We want to replace "they're doing this on purpose" with "something is overloaded right now," and replace "I have to fix this now" with "I can pause and reset." During instruction, these are real-life tools. Pause instruction instead of pushing through. Use silent reset cues. Count down, dimming the lights, or a visual timer. And narrate your calm. "I'm noticing I need to slow us down." This can look like using songs and breathing visuals or movement resets in the primary classrooms, and more mature students might need quiet pauses, written directions, and nonverbal redirection. All of these strategies are really beneficial for teachers and students who are a little bit overloaded. So to wrap it up, regulation is a practice, not a personality trait. Calm does not mean permissive, and you don't have to regulate forever, just long enough to bring yourself back to baseline. Something I would like you to think about is one thing that you can take into your classroom tomorrow. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please reach out if you have any questions.